My dark spots are wondering, did I push this body too much? Did I make my husband and children and family go through all this because of that greed of wanting that baby girl? I've listened to my whole life medical professionals saying, you won't be able to do this and you won't be able to do that. And a question I ask myself all the time is, Danielle, when do you start to listen? And that's hard. I see the trauma that my little boys have gone through the last couple months, and I question, did we push this too hard? My name is Danielle Campo-McLeod. I'm 36 years old. I am a social worker, a private counselor, a motivational speaker, and I work at Muscular Dystrophy Canada. I am a mom of 5 beautiful children. 2 of them are my wonderful stepchildren, ages 16 and 14, and then I have 3 biological children, 5, 2.5, and a beautiful 3-month-old baby girl. There's definitely PTSD around. I think a lot of it is holding guilt for what my family went through and the fear that, of what they had to do. I often joke that I was just laying there, right? And everything that they had to go through. I think also just trying to figure it all out, right? To have my faith and know that that's the root of who I am, and you give everything, you give your struggles, because in your struggles you find your strength, and it's not your strength, right? It's just coming from my faith. But then to feel this, there was good and there was not good, and I was stuck right in between, and it was this balancing act of don't move too much this way, don't look too much that way, and just stay right here. And I think a lot of the PTSD is, as we say right now, is around the fact of what now, right? Like, how did I get so lucky to and blessed to still be here? And what the heck does that all mean? That is a question that I am grappling with, because you don't get to talk to a lot of people that can tell you about what happens in between. I know in between I was thinking, like, where's that white light that's supposed to, feel so comforting and feel, why do I feel so stuck? For me, no one shares anything with you in that in between. So many memories of my grandparents playing cards. And when I use the word memory, it's not the right. I was visiting with my grandparents. He was sitting at a table playing cards with all of these other relatives that I knew. In my mind, they were not gone. This was just what we were doing. And I asked to sit at the table like I had done a million times as a little kid. And he said, there's no chairs for you. And then I said, well, I'm going to eat some of the cheese. It was always a joke with us that it's just a little chunk of cheese. And I'd watch him play cards. And he said to me, you can't eat this food. And I was like, what the heck? And then they left. And I was there. And then I was in the pool so many times with my old training partners, with them yelling at me, you got to keep going. You've got to keep going. And I remember thinking, like, why are you being so bossy? Like, our coach will yell at me, and he'll be the one to say, like, you got to get your heart rate up. There were so many times where I had people yelling at me while I was in a swimming workout saying, you've got to get this heart rate higher. And come to find out that whether it was people through a phone call telling me I couldn't leave, or Denny saying, you can't leave me here. And those moments I turned into workouts. I had a vision of rocking a baby and holding her and playing with her red dress and looking at her really, hard white shoes and just thinking how beautiful this baby girl was and rocking her. And later to share that story with my family and find out that was my cousin Stephanie, who was little and passed away, I think just after a year, not quite a year old. And in that in between, I got to rock her and feel that she was okay. And this maternal instinct of that's what I should have been doing, is rocking Morgan. And I remember feeling her dress in my hands. And getting to, experience that. And then a vision of Denny being in a car accident and me yelling at him, like, get out of the car, don't just sit here. And coming back and talking to him about, like, did you get in a car accident? And he was like looking at me like, yeah, like 25 years ago. And so, just all these crazy stories and memories of, seeing people and being like, we're gonna go have a coffee together, or feeling so busy. Most, I think, interesting one, or one that I'd love to know, is my 5-year-old Corbin was with me all the time, talking to me about what was happening in his SK classroom, and that his teacher was taking good care of him and teaching him about heaven and about God. And I remember saying to him, Mommy's body is too sick, Corbin. I can't do it anymore. I gotta go. And he said to me, Mommy, please don't go. Please don't go. Come to my classroom. Come and see my crafts. Please don't go. We're praying for you. Everyone's praying for you, Mommy. Every day I sit in the special chair and we pray for you. And to find out later that his story is, Mommy, I saw you in my bed. You came and you told me that your body was too sick, like old Pepe, and you had to go to heaven. And I said to you, please don't go. And I looked out my window and I said, please don't take my mommy. And they said, okay. And then the next day, Daddy said, you opened your eyes. And so I don't know what happens in the in-between. I just know that I was visiting a lot of people, which I love to do. So, but getting to have those connections and, you know, listening to people always ask me now, like, what's one thing you could say to someone? And I would say, if you ever know someone or love someone that's in a coma, you talk to them, because whether or not they turn it into their own stories. I remember closing my eyes one day in this feeling of closing my eyes and seeing this darkness, and then all of a sudden it was one little flash, then 2 little flashes, then 1,000,000 little flashes, and I described it like the light of a candle before I knew that these candles were being lit. What prepared me for this journey was absolutely every struggle that I've been through, living with a neuromuscular disorder, being a Paralympic athlete, you know, just the fact that my parents put me into swimming to strengthen those good muscles. I thank God every day that they did that, because it's why I'm here today. It's ironic that I have 3 gold medals and 3 beautiful children. So little did I know that the fight to get those gold medals would really be the fight to live life.
You didn't get a chance to see all of these yet. So, oh, one
You're
second.
gonna do this to me, eh?
Of course I am.
My crazy Corbin. This one picture of me holding her and kissing her. I just wanted that moment so bad. You're to see, not a single kid is looking where they should be looking. Corbin's covering his face, Sam's wondering what's going on with Morgan, and there's this beautiful little girl. But the best part of this picture is Denny's not alone. And I had such fear that he would be doing this all by himself. And I kept saying to myself, failure is not an option. These kids need to know what joy is like. Need to smile again, but it's my husband's sense of relief on his face of, this is our story, this is our life. And getting to see the joy in the kid of, like, Corbin's not making a normal face in any of these pictures, and it's awesome, because that's life, right? The one where we are just all actually looking at the camera and smiling is like, it just takes me back to that first time that I saw Denny's face again and was able to say, like, You know, he said, I waited so long to see these eyes. I remember thinking, like, if you only knew where I've been. Like, yeah. Even I remember being able to, you know, say to Denny that, you know, if something happens in this pregnancy and she's not born, at least I get to say I was a mom to a daughter for a little while. And that's the attitude I kind of took to get me through the pregnancy. I had no idea that that fighting spirit was going to need to keep pushing forward and keep going and turn so selfish, right? And need to be so all about me. And I sit back and just feel so present and so okay with having doubts or having fear, you know, and knowing that I'm literally living my worst nightmare physically right now. I woke up at my weakest where, you know, everything that I was always afraid of has happened. And so now being able to say, like, this sucks. And, you know, there's moments I want to be out playing in the snow. I want to be changing Morgan's diaper, or, you know, I don't have the strength to bath her yet. The little things like that. But knowing that, you know, I get to be here to be somewhat, you know, present and not somewhat present, but just really focusing on what's important. I feel more authentic, more real. It's not my journey or my story. I'm just kind of the vehicle that's leading this out right now. If I spend my life, I could just sit here, spend my life trying to figure that all out. What I just know is that there is so much more. And it's just that, you know, don't miss that chance to smile at someone, because who knows where they are, here, there, right in between.